Hello everyone. My name is Jasmine L. Thomas and I am the CEO of Limitless Learning, Tutoring, and Schools, and I'm so excited to be tuning in tonight with you guys on the Tuesday tip of the week, and we are talking about how do parents build their child's comprehension skills. And this is a question that we get all the time. Like, it's a super popular question, and I just wanted to figure out a way, how can I help parents with this? Of course, our services are always available. For us, we do help kids beat the academic struggle and grow in character development. We individualize instruction, promise progress, and we are relationship driven. So it is a community partnership. We love our families. We love our schools that we serve as well. So, but in addition to that, I always believe that there's something else we can give to help the community and grow, especially with our children with reading. Like, I want to be honest and transparent, and if you see me looking back and forth, it's because I'm looking at our Facebook page on our page on my computer, and then I'm talking into here because I want to make sure that everything is in alignment. Awesome. We're all set up. We're good to go. So I do want to bring out the point that kids who are being read to at a young, early age, they are typically more well-developed and fluent in their reading, and they also have a larger vocabulary. This is proof. This is not something I'm just making up. And you can see it today in the schools. Like, I can almost pinpoint whose parents have read to them when they were children and whose parents did not. Just based off hearing them read 1 to 2 times, it's very evident and clear. And what we want to do is, and honestly, this is the reason why I'm starting a preschool, Limitless Learning Preschool Academy, is because our kids are going off to kindergarten and now they're being expected to read at some level. And some of our kids have not even mastered their letters, phonics sounds, and now they're being asked to read, and we want to make sure that we supply them with the best support possible. So I'm going to be giving some tools and tips, and I really want to motivate you guys to read more with your students because it is going to help them skyrocket. Okay, it really is. And guys, I mean, the statistics that I continuously am pulling and I'm seeing, I'm like, oh my gosh, if parents will just take 20 minutes out of their day to read. And guys, I have some resources I'm going to provide in the links below that you guys can actually check out and grab to be able to do that and help your children and support their learning. So the first thing that you want to make sure that you do with their reading is, of course, you want to be able to just jump right in and start reading with him. But the truth of the matter is, you need an assessment. You need to know where your child is, because if you're just reading a text that is above their level or below their level, number one, they're not really going to do well, because if it's too easy, how are they progressing? If it's too hard, they're going to struggle and they're going to develop a hate for reading. And by the way, if you are tuning in, please comment below, say how you're doing, drop any questions that you have about comprehension skills and reading, because this is a very heavy, important topic. So definitely feel free to do that, and I will check in the comments for any questions below. So you want to make sure that your child is tested. One thing that you can utilize for testing is STAR testing. So most schools use Accelerated Reader, and that is very helpful because Accelerated Reader brings a long report of all the strengths and weaknesses of your student, and it maps out what things they should be working on as well as their exact grade level, so that you can pull texts that are on that grade level specific to help them to read. Now, if your child's school does not have STAR, which is aligned to Accelerated Reader, you may have MAP scores. And the thing about the MAP scores is that for me personally, if I was not an educator, I may not be able to interpret what that means, because they give you a specific number, and based on the number that your child scores according to the national average. Okay, so that's what MAP scores look at, is for kids across the nation, how they should be performing. Now, it is going to tell you what skills need to be developed, of course. However, as a parent, it may not be as like broken down and understanding, okay, what's my next step? Okay, what do I need to do? So again, that's where we come into play, and we work with most of our students and help and assist them, whether it's online or face-to-face. So that is definitely an option. So with the MAP testing, you can always try to go online and ask for skills to practice based on your child's score. But the truth is that NWEA, that's where the MAP scores come from. You technically need to have the program software in order to print that out, and you may not have access to it. You can ask the schools and they may have it. Now, iReady is also something that is utilized as well. So you can ask your child's teacher, hi, can I get their iReady report for reading comprehension? And they should be able to give it to you, and hopefully they can explain it to you so that you can know what needs to be done. But if not, you can just read through the report as well and kind of get some thoughts on what you want to do next with your child. So that's the first thing. Test and assess, know where your child is. There is step testing. If I did not share this with you guys, you may already know. If not, it's fine. But I taught in Memphis, Tennessee, as well as Slidell, Louisiana. So I am used to a variety, and I went to the University of Southern Mississippi. So I'm used to a variety. Hi, thank you so much for the hearts and all the love. I've dealt with a variety of student progress reports, diagnostics, progress monitoring, all those different things. So that's why I'm spitting out these different things across states. But hopefully there's something that you can pull out of this and help and gather information. At the last resort, if your child's school is not giving you any type of diagnostic, which they should, but if they are not, you can do the 5-finger rule, where basically you pick out a text that you think your child may be able to actually read, and you let them read the first page. Now, if they miss all 5 words, that is way too hard. Need to move on. So 4 to 5 words, okay, no, we need to bring it down. 2 to 3 words, okay, good, this is a challenge. But if they're missing between 0 and 1 words, you need to put that book away and get something a bit more harder, because basically you don't want it to be too easy for them and they're not growing and progressing. So again, let me know if you have any questions in the comments about reading comprehension and how to help your students. And I'm going to continue, but I'll check back in the comments. So after you have tested and assessed your students, the second thing you need to do is read daily with your kids. 20 minutes a day. They spend, and I'm going to say it, no, I'm not a parent yet, but I have a ton of kids that feel like one. These kids are on their phones for hours, doing nothing. Please put a book in their hand. They need to be reading. They can actually read on their Kindle, their iPad, their tablet, their phone. Give them that and say, this is 20 minutes that you need to be reading. And what I'm going to do, I'll have a kindergarten through 2nd grade fiction reading log. Now, this reading log can actually be utilized with K through 3rd. Especially if your 3rd grader is struggling a little bit. This will be good for you guys to go over. So I'm actually going to put that in right now. K through 2 fiction reading log. Now, with this reading log, it is very, very helpful. I literally use this with a lot of my students, and I have seen so much growth with them. And so basically, I'm going to actually pin that comment. With this reading log, it allows your child to go through several different things. Number 1, character development. They need to know who the characters are. There's also the setting. There is basically a summary. There's learning point of view. Just a variety of strategies. And the thing is, once you buy this, parents, you won't have to buy it again. It literally can be used across all fiction text. That's the beauty of it. And teachers, if you're watching, this is also something good that you can use too, because you don't have to worry about, oh, I need to create new questions, I need to do this. No, this simplifies everything for you. So parents, I encourage you to utilize this, as well as teachers. You can utilize this in your classroom. The cool thing about it is that it creates a competition. So what I would do with my students is, okay, it's broken up into Monday through Thursday assignments where you have about 2 questions apiece. And so what I have done is is you do each of those each night. Now, you also, on another page, you compete where you are required to read 20 minutes a night, but maybe you want to read 30. And you record that on their log, and you can even say, okay, once you hit 100 minutes, you get a prize or something along those lines, and making sure, of course, that they're reading and doing what they're supposed to be doing, but it's just the motivation of it. And I think that it will allow our kids to see, oh my gosh, it pays off to read. It pays off to do all these things. Guys, I would not be sitting here doing what I'm doing now if I did not read. Like, that reading is so important. So make sure that you invest in your kids, and this is a great way to do it. So let me say this, and thank you guys so much for the hearts. Y'all are so sweet. I love you guys. So now that they have their books that they're reading daily, at least 20 minutes, you also have a reading log for them because you want to make sure they're comprehending. I don't care if your child can read so fluently, it's beautiful. That does not mean that they are comprehending what you are saying or what they are reading or what they're hearing out loud. The key is to make sure that they have a deep understanding. So it doesn't do me any good to tell you to make sure your child reads for 20 minutes and they are not comprehending it. Now, comprehension is not just questions. Let me say that again. Comprehension is not just questions. Hi, thank you guys so much for watching. Comprehension is bigger than just questions. It is an overall picture. It's like a flower, and I wish I had the picture of it, but that's something we have on our Teachers Pay Teacher store as well for professional development with reading. But it's like so many working pieces, and when kids can just read fluently, it means they've built fluency, they have great phonics skills, they have a sense of phonemic awareness, they're fine. But if they can't tell you what they've read, it's almost a waste. I hope that makes sense. So what we have created, we've actually had this product out for a while, and I'm going to actually go through and talk about it because I think it's going to help a lot of you guys, whether it's teachers or even parents, to be able to pull up this resource to help your students. So let me put that up. This guided reading manual allows you all to, again, the same thing with the K-2 fiction log. You don't have to go back and create something. That's one thing I know parents and definitely teachers, once you make something, you want to be done. Absolutely done, and I do not blame you guys. And so these two resources that I've commented will allow you guys to be able to go and reprint it and be done with it. But with the guided reading manual, what's really cool about it is that it goes through predictions, like making predictions in the text, goes through text features, vocabulary, questions. Now, of course, the books are going to vary, so you will need to, teachers or even parents, you will need to develop questions. But the cool thing about this is that the question setup is for inferential and critical thinking questions. And I'm sure teachers know this, but parents, you may not necessarily be aware, but the inferential questions require a piece of text evidence and the child's thoughts about the question, versus critical thinking requires the child's thoughts about it as well as 2 pieces of evidence. So they are mostly having to pull critical thinking. Like, that's the highest level that kids are being pushed, especially on state tests, all of these things. So these questions are recommended. Using something like this is going to really help them. The guided reading manual also goes over fluency, so it gives you a time chart where you can log in, like where your children are. So maybe the first day that they get tested, they're at 70 words per minute. Okay, then it also gives you a space for a goal, and maybe your next goal is, okay, let's hit 75, and it just keeps them on track to know where they are. Because I think what's happening sometimes is that as teachers and even as parents, like, we're not keeping track of those things to see where the mishap is, what's not working, and this product will allow you to track that. It also helps with retell, plot summary, and extended thinking. So the guided reading manual, I highly recommend, especially to all teachers. This K through 2 fiction reading log is something as well that I recommend for teachers and parents to use. And guys, if you have any questions specifically about reading comprehension, whether that is as a teacher, you want to develop professionally, whether that's as a parent, you're concerned about your child, please definitely comment below. Reach out to us, message us so that we can help. And let's say you have a child that is in 4th through 5th grade. If you know of someone, maybe they need a manual or something to help with their reading, please let us know, because basically what we do is we try to make different products to be able to help students. So if you could just kind of make that clear, what do you guys need? Who do you know that struggles in reading comprehension? What is it that they need to do? And yes, our store is available, and I've provided the links, our Teachers Pay Teacher store. But if you know of someone that's getting ready to take the 3rd grade GATE, we have our 3rd grade GATE boot camp. Our last one is on April 14th. So if you know of children who are struggling with reading, not even just reading in that case, but in math as well, because they're going to be tested on actually all 4 subject areas, definitely reach out to us because we can be of support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please share this video with as many people as possible, because the things that I'm sharing on what parents can do, the resources available, I think it will be very, very helpful. We have other videos as well that share tips for state testing as well as homework services. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have an amazing night.